What's up, y'all? It's me again, Lenoir, Dr. Paul, all my classmates. Of course, my senior project, if you haven't seen or heard, my senior project is based on a short film. Of course, this short film will be under 10 minutes, and it's mainly just about five friends who have their own insecurities and their own differences, and they're young. They're much like a lot of us in college, trying to figure out their lives and trying to handle these things in any type of way that they can. But they ultimately have to end up coming together because one friend is going through a rough time, and they try to come together to help that friend, but they all still deal with their own insecurities, so they're trying to find a way to balance the two. It's pretty much like a big emotional roller coaster. Um, the website that I use is called Biteable. Now, it doesn't necessarily have an author per se. It just seems as if it's more of a team collaborated effort. And it's video trends for 2021. Now, of course, you may ask, why would I look up the video trends? Because it also it 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 would help me write my script, if that makes sense. They show all these trends and all these algorithms of what's going on. What do people really want to see? When do people necessarily want to see it? Why do people want to see it? For an example, why would somebody want to see more of a love dramatic storyline compared to a horror and vicious gore kind of storyline? Why is that? Also, it kind of goes into the depths about what ages like those certain things. For example, maybe a 15 to 17 to 18-year-old guy, typically we like watching a bunch of action movies and a bunch of people getting killed for some odd reason. Think of something like Rambo, or something that represents some type of male masculinity. For some odd reason, man, we just can't stop killing each other. I don't know why we just like to see, all these physical types of things. Like, you got your football, your soccer. Like, we just love seeing, each other just clash into each other and breaking each other's body parts and hurting each other. I don't know what it is. But anyway, it shows those reasons to why those things are. And it doesn't give like a psychological aspect. It's just letting you know who likes what. Why do typically younger women like to watch love-driven stories? Maybe to ultimately find that they're loved. Maybe they're imagining themselves in those particular roles. And then too, maybe just a younger woman just doesn't want to see all of that violence. Maybe they believe it's pointless, whatever the situation is. And so when it comes down to it, is that I believe that it will end up dragging down to the root of the situations. Now, when we break it down, like specifically for me, I went into the importance of a website like this helping me perfect my craft. And if you're a video arts major, I believe that this website could help you perfect your craft too. Simple questions like, why do we need to know certain trends of the video arts kind of field? Why would we need to understand where the things are going? And that's simple. It's because we need to know how to structure a storyline, because particularly I'm being a director, videographer, things of this nature. So maybe my world is a little bit more expanded compared to somebody that's just a simple camera operator. Well, it's not simple. Forgive me for that, but I was meaning like just following the lane of a camera operator. But for me personally, it's understanding the trends and how things are set up, just so I can actually structure my storyline into those trends. Because you want to keep your original work, but at the same time, you want to understand what people want to see, because people might not want to view what you put out. They might not want to see because you're not buying into them. So, for example, people make YouTube videos all the time, but some of the most famous YouTubers in our time, tell us that try to have at least a really, really, really good thumbnail, because what does a thumbnail do? A thumbnail grabs the attention from whoever is watching. And if you're interested in that thumbnail, that's an interesting thumbnail. Somehow psychologically it intrigues you, like, oh, what's going on with that? You know what I mean? So then you'll click into it, and then you'll be more tempted to kind of watch it to see where it's going. I think the structure of understanding this website lets us know, videographers, directors, or even if you're a music artist or wherever it is, we want the people to, we know people will buy our vision. They'll believe in our vision, but at the same time, we want the people that don't want to see it. We want to be able to capture them and bring them in and say, hey, okay, this is not as bad. And also, when you get this type of information, it can only help you become a better videographer, music artist, or whatever the situation is, right? I mean, reading is fundamental. Learning is very key to these types of things. And so, and as I was saying, building it with my script, I personally have my own story that I would like to tell. However my mind works, it doesn't matter. I have a structure of how I want that to go. But one thing that I found out being is a younger up-and-coming videographer, director, video editor, whatever, is that sometimes it's not about that the message failed or the message is not understood. It's how you deliver the message, if that makes sense. Like back in the day, and I'll say about maybe the 60s or the 70s in terms of filmmaking. Filmmaking used to be, they used to put limits on it to how graphic it could actually be, because those audience back then, they weren't necessarily ready to see that upon a big screen. You could viciously kill a woman how we do in our movies now, and we see that as nothing. It's normal. Why would it be any different? But if you did that back then, they would turn off. They would turn their heads. They would get up and walk out of the room. And that's not what you want to do. You want to bring somebody into your vision instead of making them remove themselves from the vision. Now, if naturally they just don't like what the work that you do with how you present it to yourself, how you present it to the crowd or the audience, then there's nothing too much you can do about that. One of my most favorite cinematographers is Quentin Tarantino. Now he does a lot of blood and gore and a lot of he does everything. If you ever seen one of his movies, one of his classic breakout film was Reservoir Dogs. You had films like that. Then you had Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. You had Django, if you've seen that. He brings his own vision, but at the same time, he doesn't want you to remove yourself from his vision. He wants to include you in that particular package. And if you don't like it, then hey, whatever. But at least I got you into my store. To go into a better example is that, say I have this candy store. This candy store has some of the best candy, at least which I think is the best candy. And this is my business, and me and my people, we make our particular brand of candy. But sometimes people come in, and sometimes people don't. Sometimes they want to go down the street to a Hershey's or whatever the situation is. So what we have to do, we have to wrap our package and brand it with this website that helps us brand it, that helps us realize what people want to see. So say, for example, maybe the people down the street at Hershey's, maybe they like having a big Hershey's mascot outside. Then that would make us think, oh, let's get us a chocolate bar mascot, and let's have them outside of our door. And so then all of a sudden, people like that, aka the thumbnail, so they start to, okay, mommy, I want to go in. I like this mascot, things of that nature. And all we can do, our goal is to just bring them into that door of that candy shop. Whether they buy anything or not, that's almost out of our control. We could do our best, but our goal is just to bring them in. And if they don't want to, we're not going to pressure them. We'll let them go. But if they do, then that's when they get all the benefits. So that's how I look at being a videographer or director, whatever the situation is. I can't make you like my vision. I can't make you like it. But what I can do, what I absolutely can do, and this goes for all the music artists and anybody who is an artist of any field, what we can do is that we can bring them in the door in our field. We can say, hey, I'll check it out. And if you check it out the first 20 seconds of a song, 20 seconds of a short film, or whatever it may be, and you don't like it, hey, there's nothing more we can do about that. But our goal is to bring you in. And with a website like this, it's biteable. The website is biteable. With a website like this is that it brings in specific amounts of knowledge that we need to know in order to grow our craft. And that's pretty much the conclusion, though, the beginning, the middle, the end of my presentation of my website. Once again, I'll say it again, it's Biteable. Um, it was made in 2021 for 2021. It was late 2022, 2021, because it was the website and the trends letting you know what's about to happen in 2021. So it doesn't necessarily have an author. It's more of a team collaborated effort. Like even at the bottom it says contact us. It doesn't have a name or at the bottom, but I do believe that this website is a good website. And thank you all for checking out my video. If you did, remember to, I'm still working and I'm trying to get people in on my short film, so just stay tuned. If you want to act, if you want to be a live sound person, if you want to be a lighting person, just let me know. And I thank you all. Appreciate you, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation, and I look forward to having a great rest of the cold COVID semester with y'all. All right, see you.